Hey guys, it's Sasha with Rice and Raw, and I just wanted to explore this thought with you guys. And this video is mainly going to be about how society has kind of conditioned girls to eat a certain way and guys to eat a certain way. And this is just generalization, and I do want to acknowledge that in the past probably 10, 20 years, male eating disorders have become, a lot more frequent, and they should not be overlooked. Like, that does happen, but I'm just going to talk in the general sense here right now. So please excuse me, my nose is actually really itchy. I don't know why. It's just been itching me like all day. It's like on the outside. I don't know. Anyway, so for the girl's mentality with food, I can speak from experience. Since we're always eating little amounts of food, food is a very precious thing to us. When we see a chocolate bar and we're allowed to eat it, we're going to eat it. If it's someone's birthday and there's cake, we're going to eat the cake, God damn it. Because I say we used, in the past, how it used to be, limit ourselves when we do eat. Because I remember this was my day. I would wake up so excited to eat. I'm like, yes, I can eat now, finally. Like, it's been what I've been waiting for all night. I've had dreams about eating. Let's do this. So, I have my little egg white omelet with mushrooms and spinach because they have, like, no calories. And that's, like, really low-calorie breakfast. And I would try to have that for breakfast. Maybe I would have a little bit of cheese in there, too, because that's kind of decadent and really exciting. Oh, Sophie texted me. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Hi, Soph, by the way. What was I saying, Sophie? Stop texting me. Okay. Yeah, so I'd have that as an omelet, no more than 250 calories, right? That was for breakfast. For lunch, then I would try to have maybe a salad with some chicken, and then I guess since we're being healthy today, I can add some extra cheese and some kind of like cool dressing. I never liked ranch, but I'm sure a lot of girls do it. Some kind of fatty dressing, very exciting, and pretty low calorie and low carbs. So I would have that. I'd be worrying about the cheese because like there's so many carbs in this cheese. I wonder if it's bad for me. So I'll eat that. No more than 400. 500 calories at most if I was like really piling on the cheese there or got a little carried away with the dressing. Then I had to wait all the way until dinner. And then at dinner I'd go super early because I'd be like so excited to eat. And I'm like, I need to eat. So then I would, have like some plain chicken, a little bit more salad on the side, maybe some like lasagna they made. Because I'm like, ooh, I'm going to eat that because I was so good today. And then I'd be like, ooh, look at all the desserts. Let's go eat dessert. And I'm talking about, I'm in college at this point, so that's why it's like kind of, everything's accessible to me. So it's like, oh yeah, so I'm going to have like some cake. And then I'll like take maybe 4 or 5 cookies to go and eat in my room secretly so no one sees I'm actually eating this much food. I'd always take so much cookies out with me and just eat cookies. And this was even when I was like healthy, when I thought I was being healthy, and I was like pretty thin too. And, that just really ballooned out of control because I was trying to limit myself so much. And then when you start to see any weight gain, you try to limit yourself more. And then when you see that you're limiting yourself more, you get more hungry and then you gain more weight because you're binging out secretly. And then you're like, why am I gaining so much weight? You don't really understand that you're just like eating so much shit all the time and that you're eating all these animal products that are just being backed up in your system. And really, it's a really sad life, honestly, and I lived it, and that's why I feel so bad for people when they're going through this, and that's why I'm here to like promote a healthier lifestyle. And then we're going to switch over to how guys see food. Guys are always trying to gain muscle. Guys are always trying to put on size. They don't want to be a little skinny guy. So, they're eating a lot of food. I remember I had a boyfriend in high school who would have like 2 buffalo chicken paninis, and like those were like really a lot of meat, like so much shit in there. And then he would just eat and eat and eat. And I remember he was like, I ate so much once I just like threw up. And then my boyfriend now, Joe, he's had that same issue. He used to be 120 pounds and he was really tall. And that was when he first started college. He was so little. And then he was like, hey, I'm going to work out. I'm going to gain all this weight. And I remember him telling me I would eat so much I would actually throw it up, and I'd be upset because I just put all this energy into eating this damn food, and now I threw it up. Like, damn it. Like, when I say throw up, I mean, like, he threw up because he was so full. His body was like, no. That's what I mean by throw up. I don't mean like yeah. So that was like his mentality towards food, is like, eat as much as you can and don't waste it. Make sure it stays in there. Even now, he'll try to eat as much as he can, and his body will like reject it slightly, and he has to like stomach it down. And like his whole life is, oh, I always have to eat. I always have to eat. And like, yeah, he does enjoy his food. He loves going out to restaurants, and yeah, he can definitely enjoy food. But at the same time, maybe that half the time he's like, oh, I have to eat today. I have to eat again. Oh my god. And it's annoying to him. And I've noticed a lot of my guy friends have been like that, or at least to the extent where guys are just like, food is food, like, it's cool, it's good, but it's not like the priority of their life. I've had a lot of girlfriends. Food is a huge priority. Food is this really exciting thing for girls. I remember, my friend, it's actually her birthday today. Happy birthday, even though I'm sure you don't watch my YouTube, but I remember her and I was like sad one night, and then my friend's birthday cake ice cream was in the fridge, and like, I feel really bad that we ate it, but like, I like destroyed that. Like, I went through the whole damn thing and I ate it all. And it's kind of funny in retrospect, and my friend forgave us very nicely of her. But now it's just like, why would I do that? Like, why would that make me happy? Food now is not equal to happiness, because in the past, food equaled happiness for me. And that was because I would limit myself so much that when I finally had food, I finally had this energy. I'm finally happy. I'm like, oh my god, it's this weird feeling. And of course, I was eating foods that were so concentrated with like high fructose corn syrup and tons of fat that just threw my whole body into like this crazy spin, almost a bit of a high in a way. Now I feel like I almost weaned myself from that high. I really honestly felt like I was addicted to food. I wanted to go to Overeaters Anonymous. I looked up online where I could find like food addiction recovery. I thought to God I was addicted to food. So I really do feel like I was. And I don't feel that addiction anymore. I don't feel that like craze, that urge. I don't wake up in the morning thinking, oh my God, let me eat now. Like I've seriously felt that way most of my life, where I would always be counting calories on my papers at school when I was bored on the side margin. I'd be like, well, I had this many calories for breakfast, I had this many calories in this, and how many calories do I have left? And I would always try to stick to at least under 1,500 calories. Like my entire life, I've been trying to do that, even when I didn't have an eating disorder. And I remember thinking, oh, well, since I'm so small, and, I calculated this online, and this online calculator told me that to lose any weight, I would have to eat 1,200 calories a day. And that's like starvation level. And that's what the online calculators told me. And I've checked today, they still tell me the same thing, to eat that many calories if I wanted to lose weight. Obviously, that's not true, because I've lost 35 pounds, eating at minimum like 12,000 calories, or 2,000 calories a day at minimum. And I mean, I'd be aiming for at least, 3,000 most of the, the majority of the days. So I don't know, like, it just sucks. And that's just the mentality that girls do have around food. And not all of us are addicted to food. Some of us do have comfortable relationships with food, and that's fine. But for the most part, I have seen a lot of girls have really bad issues with food. And I really think that's related to society kind of reflecting, you have to eat very little as a girl. You need to be very small as a girl, so you need to eat very little and very lean and no carbs, and have more protein but no carbs. And that, I just feel like that's not serving the population, because it's obviously not working. And yeah, I'm sorry this video is so long. I'm just like thinking out loud here. So now that I feel like I've broken my food addiction, I almost feel like I more have the guy mentality to food, because it's just food. I can enjoy it for sure. I love like my lunches and dinners. My breakfast and dinners. I love breakfast and dinner. I hate lunch. I've always hated lunch. Lunch is like this weird no man's land of food. I really don't like it. I'll either have breakfast for lunch or dinner for lunch. I just can't. I don't even know what lunch is. I hate lunch. So yeah, now I feel like I've broken my addiction to food, where food is food. Food is not a focal point of my life. Food is very important to me because it keeps me going. So I need to make sure that I have the food that I need to keep me going. But other than that, that's as far as it goes. And I do have more of the guy mentality towards food because Joe and I will be eating and it'll be like, okay, I need to eat more. I need to eat more. And he's like, okay, eat more. Finish your food. Finish your food. And I'm like, oh, God, this is so hard. And I'm like, we encourage each other to finish food. You know, even though we're full, we encourage each other to eat past the fullness point. Because we're trying, to gain muscle. We're not trying to, cut calories to lose weight. Like, I've come this far because I didn't cut calories, because I just ate whole plant-based foods. I ate tons and tons of fruit. I kept my fat low. And people think that that's like a really restricted diet. It's not. I eat whatever I want. And it's awesome because I just don't want to eat dead animal flesh. And I'm sorry, that's what it is. It's animal flesh. It's the flesh of an animal that you've cooked. It's dead. It is technically rotting now. So I just don't want to eat that. And you can't blame me for not wanting to eat that. And I don't want to eat mammary secretions because, you know what? I don't want to eat milk from a mother. I don't want that. If you want to do that, fine. But I think that's a little messed up. And so you really can't fault someone for not wanting to do that. Otherwise, I eat anything I want. I eat tons and tons of fruit. And when I say tons, I'm aiming for 10 bananas for breakfast. I tell people that. Sometimes it'll be 8. Calm down. Sometimes it'll be 15 to 20 dates. I'm just trying to eat as much as I can. And once you change into that mindset where it's like, okay, eat as much as you can, eat as much as you can, it is exhausting in a way where it's almost like, you never feel that I must eat more. I have to eat more. I would always feel that way, can I eat more? Can I eat more? And that's binge mode, and it would just be eat. But now it's just oh, okay, I have to eat all this. So, it's delicious and it's awesome, but it's not it doesn't give me that high feeling. It's just, oh, this is great. And then once I start drinking the smoothie, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. It tastes delicious. Near the end of the smoothie, I'm like, okay, just finish it off. Just do it. And I feel great. But the thing is it's not that that same mentality when you're eating a cake. You're like, okay, I really need to stop. Just one more bite. And I honestly, I've told my boyfriend this is so embarrassing. This is really messed up. I would eat those crumb cupcakes, which thank God they're out of business. Sorry, but they're out of business. I would buy 4. And this is when I did have my eating disorder. I would buy 4, and I would eat them. Do my eating disorder thing. And then I would still have some left over because it was this insane amount of calories. I'm sitting there eating 2,000 calories of cupcakes. And I'd have some left. And I remember spitting on them. Okay, I'm not going to eat any more. I'm just going to spit on them now so I won't eat them later. Well, guess what? I ate them later. Because I was just so addicted. And Joe at first didn't believe that you could be addicted to food or addicted to an eating disorder. But I really think you could, because when you are, your head's in the toilet and you're telling yourself, this is the last time. I swear to God, this is the last time. I will never do this again. And an hour later, you're doing it again. Or even you tell yourself, okay, next week, just 1 week. I just want to go 1 week without doing this. And the next hour you're doing it again, that's an addiction. And if you can't stop yourself from doing it, that is an addiction. It might be a mental addiction and not a physical body addiction like cigarettes, but it is a mental addiction. And the human mind is so powerful. It can really make or break you. And what is so beautiful about that, though, is that since the human mind is so powerful, you can come out of anything. You can come from anywhere and really just become everything you want it to be. Because honestly, I've done that. People look at me now and they think, oh, well, she's just, she's so thin, she's so happy, that's just how she is. No, I came from such a sad, sad place. I came from a place where I didn't care if I lived or died. I came from a place where my head was in the toilet most of the time. I came from a place where I would walk around Stop and Shop for 2 to 3 hours picking out what I wanted to eat to then throw up later. I would spend hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of dollars on food that I would just throw up later. I sat in my room all day. I hid from people. I alienated myself from people. I would not talk to anyone. When I would have to go out to parties, it would be twisting my wrist to bring me, and I would hate it. it was bad. I couldn't even talk to my parents. I couldn't even look at my parents. I just walked straight up when I came in from wherever I was, usually because I had food in my giant handbag that I was hiding. And, I'd hide all my food and throw up in my closet. Like, that's so sad. Like, I had nothing. I felt like I had nothing. And I gave myself a year. I gave myself 1 year. And that's all I needed was that 1 year. You can't tell yourself, okay, let's try to recover from eating disorder in a month. Let's try to get healthy in a month. Let's try to do this in a week. You're going to mess up. No matter what. You're going to mess up somewhere. But give yourself a year. And after a year, it's amazing what can be done. It's amazing how far you can come. And I remember listening to Will Smith talk about something once, and he was like, if you want to try to build a wall in a day, you're going to be overwhelmed. It's not going to happen. And it's going to be a lot of damn work. But if you go and lay one brick every single day, just one little brick every single day, without any effort, you are going to build a huge wall. And that just kind of always stuck with me. If you just do a little thing every single day with no effort, but it's good for you. Have that banana smoothie in the morning. If you're not ready for 10, go for 6. And, start to just lay that brick every single day. And then soon you will have that wall. And you will look at it a year later and be like, whoa, that took no effort at all. So I do feel in retrospect that this journey took no effort because I took such a long time getting here. It's been 2 years almost. It's been a year and 10 months since I started seriously becoming vegan. And oh my gosh, it's been easy. And people say, oh, it must be so hard. But initially in the beginning, yeah, and I would have cheese and I'd mess up, and then I'd maybe try a cupcake or something, then realize it wasn't as good as I thought it was. But for the most part, it was easy. And it was easy because I gave myself that time. And I'm sorry for this long video, but if you stuck this far, this is actually the most important thing I will ever say, is that you need to give yourself enough time for this to feel easy. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to be a hero where you can just go overnight, raw vegan, 100%. Some people can, and that's cool. Most of the time, people need some time. They need to baby themselves a little bit. Don't be afraid to baby yourself a little bit. I did. I would always give myself a little bit of leeway if I wasn't quite there yet, and I still do. I had to also overcome my fear of working out again, because when I had eating disorder, it would be 2 hours on the elliptical, straight, working hard, burning 1,500 calories, and that would be after a day of eating calorie-free noodles with Parmesan cheese, and that's it. And some black coffee. Really, that's what I would do. So that's why I had this such fear of going to the gym, this hatred of the gym, because it really helped my eating disorder really just explode. So that took me some time, and I said, okay, once a week, I want to try to do some form of activity. Doesn't even have to be the gym, just some form of activity. I started that at the beginning of this year, 2014. And now I'm so comfortable going to the gym. I'm so comfortable with working out. I can do it anytime, any day. I like it, and that took me, a little bit, but I started with a small goal. And I think that's important to start with small, really achievable goals. That's achievable, man. That's not bad. And just start with that. And then everything will start to be easy after that. And then once you kind of achieve that goal, you think, oh, I could take on a bit more. So, set that goal. Just for breakfast, just have 6 bananas for breakfast and a nice smoothie. And then once you have that down, once that becomes a normal thing for you, then add some more. And then maybe have some more fruit before lunch. And then maybe kick out that meat at dinner. Every once in a while, maybe only 2 days out of the week, you don't eat meat. And then you slowly start to build that confidence starts to build as you realize you can achieve this. That's easy. And you start to want to keep challenging yourself little bit by little bit. And eventually it just becomes so easy. And that's why Meatless Mondays are so wonderful, because just for one day, don't eat meat. That's all. It's not intimidating. It's very doable. And then eventually you're going to start to realize I could do all my days without meat. What am I thinking? This is so easy. I remember Joe telling me today, he's like, I think I can definitely see myself not eating meat for the rest of my life, and definitely not eating any milk for the rest of my life. And I'm like, that's awesome. But that took him a while, and he's still working on it. And I told him, you need to take your time to work on it. Some people need a lot more time than others. Some people might need 5 years to let go of meat. Some people might just need a week. So it just depends on, where you are. It doesn't make you a bad person, a good person, better off than someone else or not. It's just how it is. And just accept it and keep working on yourself, focusing on yourself, and improving yourself and not comparing yourself to other people, because that's where people falter. And when you compare yourself to other people, that is when you start to fall behind. In any race, swimming, running, you're not supposed to look at the opponent. You're supposed to make sure that you're running next to them. Do you ever see people doing that in the Olympics where they're like, oh God, he's running like just as close as I am, to the finish line. We're like gonna get tied or something. No, you're looking straight at the finish line. You are not looking anywhere else. You're not looking in the other lane to make sure that the other people are behind you or like getting jealous of the person in front of you. You are just running to get to the finish line as quickly as you can. And that applies to life. You should not be looking in the other lane to see the other girl on Instagram who's way skinnier than you. No, focus on what you need to do to become the best version of yourself. And, when you start looking at other people, that's when you start to fall behind. That's when you start to get distracted. You take your eye off the goal. You're getting jealous of the person running faster than you, and now you're running slower. Instead of just focusing on the goal and, hey, maybe you will run faster than them with the given time to get to the finish line, So same thing with life. It will just hold you back if you're comparing yourself to other people. Really, because that's also what helped me, is I stopped comparing myself to other people. I start just saying, yeah, I'm pretty cool. Like, this is cool about me. This is weird, but cool about me. And I start to embrace what I had to offer. And, I get people dig me now, I guess. And, I dig myself, and that's cool. You have to kind of build your own brand. And I made a video like this before. Everyone's so different. If you try to mimic other people, you're just going to be, untrue to yourself. And you're never really going to feel like you're that great because you're just trying to mimic someone else. You're never going to be as good as that person if you're mimicking them, because they're the authentic, original version. And you're trying to be another version. You're always going to be the lesser version. But if you are just being true to yourself and making yourself the original best version, then you're always going to be special, and you're going to start to feel more accomplished because you are being true to yourself, and you're not being compared to anything else because you are your own brand. You're special and you're different. And I think that's a really good mentality to have. So, long enough video, and I kind of totally strayed from the topic. I do that all the time. Whatever, it's my YouTube. I do what I own. But, also, do think about the fact that most guys in general don't really have that addiction to food as most girls do. Again, generalization here, definitely not always true, because I know there are a lot of guys who do deal with eating disorders. And there also are girls who, are completely comfortable around food and have no issues with food. So, generalizations, and leave comments below if, you guys want to talk about this topic further. It is an interesting topic, I think, because it is something that's so overlooked in society, but it is so blatantly obvious. So start making little goals for yourself, little achievable goals. Start making those goals for yourself, and you will start to build up on those goals as you achieve them easily, and you will build an empire for yourself if you do that. So good luck to you guys. Leave comments below if you guys want to talk about it, and I will see you guys later. I hope you guys are having a happy and healthy day. Bye.